Hello. Okay, so this is a update video just on my progress so far, my training, my diet, yada yada yada. Okay, so let's get straight into it. In regards to my training, I've currently been doing most of my exercises are two-legged. I started in October, so now it has been 8 weeks since I returned to the gym, and we're doing like just general exercises. Some of them you would have seen in my other videos. Over the last 2 weeks or so, I'd say I noticed that there was a significant size difference in my legs. I actually measured it, and it turns out my left leg now is 3 centimeters bigger than my right leg. So for the next month, my main concentration is going to be doing on single-legged weighted exercises, trying to build up my strength of my right leg to catch up with my left leg. Hopefully it won't take longer than a month. And then the plan from there is to go on to do more plyometrics training. So that would be more specific jumping and explosive, working on my fast twitch fibers in regards to getting me ready for January, hopefully. That's really it in a nutshell. That's what's been happening with my training. It's been going quite well. I'm not having pain doing any of the exercises, which is a good sign. I normally get up to a certain weight before I start to feel my knee, and that's normally when I stop. But I was advised by my doctor that if it was under 5 out of 10 to keep on going in order to strengthen it, and it's not been like the lunging activities that I wasn't able to do before, and step ups. I've had no issues with that. It's mainly been like literally the leg press and two-legged exercises. So now I'll be going to do single leg exercises. I'll mostly still do a bit of the double leg strength exercises, but really concentrating on single leg to try and strengthen up my right leg, because it is significantly weak, and I can see that in the gym when I'm doing my exercises. Okay, so now to a badminton update. The badminton side has been going quite well. I've been able to train twice a week, and then doing a concentrated organized session once a week, so it's been quite good. My main worry was when coming back was that I was going to be either feeling pain during playing or after playing. I've been lucky enough that it's not been that bad. It's not been bad after, to be fair. And during, I've not been feeling any pain. However, I have been reluctant to jump still. I found that if I do cool down, that is the main issue. This is when I start to feel it. So I know I still have quite a way to go, because when I do cool down, I do tend to feel it in my knee. And anyone who's got knee problems, I'm sure you're the same, that when your knee does cool down, if you sit out for too long, you do tend to feel it a bit more, and it does take you a bit longer to warm up. So hopefully with the strength training that I'm planning to do over the next month, that will help to build up the endurance in my leg, if that's a thing. But hopefully that won't be a problem. I've also found that it's very important that after training sessions, that obviously you cool down, but I do stretch out my legs and use the foam roller. I've also got like a little massage, you see all these repo sort of massage thing, which I use to treat my legs after. Well, I found that rehab really does help in ensuring that I do not have DOMS after, so delayed onset muscle soreness. I don't have that problem after playing badminton. Once I do make sure that I do stretch, massage my leg, foam roll it out after the session. So I played the internal tournament. That went quite well. However, we were both had injuries, so we're reluctant a bit to lunge and cover. But yeah, it was a good experience just to see if I was well off the pace during game situation. I'd still say I'm quite a bit off the pace, but getting much better, which is always a good sign. In regards to badminton, that's really it. The next month or so, I'm going to be continuing to do my training. I'm also be doing a video on the baddie machine. I'll try to get that out again. I haven't really used it. I've used it once or twice. Okay, so let's talk about the diet. As you guys know, I gave up meat and dairy for the month. It's actually been now 8 weeks. Yeah, it's been 8 weeks since I've eaten any animal-based products. Let's start with the good stuff. It's been surprisingly easy, actually. I've not had any qualms. I've not really missed eating meat. I definitely feel a lot lighter after meals. I don't feel so bloated and built up. You generally do feel better. The meals are relatively easy and quick to cook. My knee does feel a lot better. I'm not sure if that's the diet or a combination of the diet and the weight training, but in general it does feel a lot better, considering I was having issues with my knee for 4 months prior. This is, when I'm sitting down I have no pain in my knee, which was the goal, along with obviously being able to play again. But let's go through some of the I wouldn't say bad points, I'd say annoying things, or things that are like annoying. First thing to note is that when you do change your diet, which I didn't know, I didn't actually look into it that much, but you become extremely bloated, and that's just due to the amount of fiber that you're eating. It generally happens quite a while after you eat, maybe 1 or 2 hours. And at the beginning, it was just no idea. I had no idea, no warning. I was like, oh gosh, why do I feel so bloated? And literally, it's your body adjusting to the change in diet. And I was eating a lot of beans and lentils, so our fiber our fiber content was a lot higher than it normally was, which it passes after the first week. It wasn't really a problem, but it is something to note. You go to the toilet a lot more, which you also need to know, just in case your job doesn't allow you to constantly be going. That was just something. I wouldn't say it's a bad or good point. I'd just say that it's important to know these sort of stuff when you're going to change your diet, that's going to happen, because I had no idea. At first, I didn't know what was going on. My belly just felt like it was super bloated. Like, it didn't feel full, it just felt bloated. Let's go on to shopping now. So, obviously, there's good and bad points, but I'd say mainly for me, more annoyances. Going into supermarkets now. I have a lot of supermarkets where I live, a lot of choices of where I go. I find most supermarkets are really good with where they place their items, in terms of in the refrigerated products. So you tend to find the meals and sort of like substitute meats and so on, all in the same section. But my biggest pet hate, and most probably it was super annoying, is that supermarkets for the other products seem to mix everything up. So when you're going to the supermarket and you're looking for, say for instance, something like crisps or bread, or okay, so let's just say pastry products, and you go into the supermarket, instead of them putting all the plant-based items together, they mix it up. They don't mix it up, but they just stack it normally. Now, when you're eating a plant-based diet, I don't really care about the other stuff, because I'm not going to eat it. You can't persuade me to buy it, because I'm not going to eat it. And I know obviously it's different with vegetarians or other people who have other dietary requirements. There are other stuff that you can actually sell to you can persuade people, and it's about marketing and advertising. But when you're eating a plant-based diet, that doesn't apply to you. Like, you can only eat these not plant-based products. So if you put all the plant-based products in one aisle, I'm only going to shop there. This is the only place you're going to persuade me. Because what happens is, after 10 minutes, I'm fed up of walking around the supermarket and looking at every ingredient. Okay, what's in bowl? Is there milk? Is there eggs? Is there this and there? And this is what happened. And this is really like, I'm talking like Sainsbury's, Morrison's, all of these stores. This is it. I think if you're used to it, you're used to it. I'm not used to having to check every ingredient. And then when you go to ask the staff, they're not exactly sure. It's like, okay, right, no, sorry, I need it to be plant-based, because they will tell you the aisle in which the item is, but then you have to look through the whole aisle. And when you go to bigger supermarkets, there's a lot of, like, you go into Sainsbury's, there's like 600 different types of sauces. I don't care about the other sauces. I just need the sauces that are plant-based and ain't got no animal products in. Yeah, there's my supermarket rant over. Other thing I found is that because the low-cost supermarkets, Aldi did do a little bit of a promotion. In fact, Aldi have just released a range of plant-based products which are refrigerated, which is quite good. Is that you need to go to the bigger supermarkets such as Sainsbury's and Robinsons if you wanted other things other than like fruit and veg and bread. But Aldi have now released a couple of products, well, quite a big range depending on which Aldi you're going to. So that's quite nice that you actually have a cheaper one. I should have put that in the good point. But yeah, otherwise you are going to the other supermarkets, and what we did find is that at the beginning our cost was significantly less. But that was when we was mainly eating beans and lentils, basically tinned veg or tinned beans. But when you do branch out to the other stuff, because of the fact that you can only get these in the premium supermarkets, it does end up costing a bit more, because I would normally spend a whole shop for two people in Aldi at the beginning was like 30 quid. You go into Sainsbury's and you would buy a basket and it would cost like 35 quid. Like, you got half the items and it's costing you more. And that is one of the first things that I have found that is a lot more expensive. Is not a lot more, but yeah, it's a bit more expensive. About things. Another pet hate that I've had, and I don't know if that's just me being stubborn or whatever, is the fact that when you order food and it's plant-based, they are still charging you, if not more, than you would be if you was eating an animal product. Now, I just can't justify. I'm saying you're buying tinned beans. I'm buying a tinned bean burger and it's got potatoes. It's potatoes and beans. Don't try and make it as pretty as you put a little bit of seasoning and sauces or whatever you put in there. But essentially, it is mushrooms, beans, and bread. And you are charging me £15? £15? What? Get out of here. Because I could buy a burger for like 8 quid, even on Deliveroo, and then you have to buy the chips on top for like 3-4 quid. It's still cheaper than a plant-based burger. So this is another thing. I think the companies are jumping on the craze and the trends of, okay, everyone wants to be plant-based, we're going to charge them the normal price, which if they weren't plant-based that they would be eating, but you are getting ripped off, because there is no way on this earth that you're telling me that it's costing you more to make a plant-based burger than it's costing you to make like a normal meat burger. Like I'm sorry, the ingredients are gonna cost less. Like when you come down to it, it's like you're buying en masse. You're not buying your thing. So that is another I found downside to being plant-based. Okay, the next couple of videos I'm going to post are going to be badminton matches. So I'll do the Tower Hamlets internal tournament and the Middlesex County matches that were played at the restricted. And then after that, most will be a couple of would be the Baddie Machine review. So not a couple. Would be the after that would be the Baddie Machine review after its update. Just remember to subscribe and like and comment and blah blah blah. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.